What is this thing?
Your lightsaber. It shows you, Michael.
I feel the energy, like it's dancing with me.
You're a Jedi now. Let it flow.
Faster than the hyperdrive, we move tonight, blazing through the shadows, bringing the light. The dark side's creeping, but I won't hide. I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna fight.
Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is my review of Batman #2. A freaking awesome comic that, for whatever reason, Wes decided to lie about just thoroughly. So this is the second issue, obviously, but it feels like the first issue. The first issue was extremely low stakes, and it felt like a zero issue. This one is really getting into what appears to be the crux of the Matt Fraction pitch, in that Vandal Savage is the commissioner of the GCPD. He's created a unit that's basically is cracking down. The regular cops are told if there's any sort of supervillain or apparently superhero activity, this SWAT team essentially will take care of it, and it's going to focus on police brutality in some ways that are very topical, but for whatever reason, I don't know, is there some, when did Wes start lying all the time? It feels like this is recent. So reading this after watching his incredibly dishonest review, it's hard to just not talk about that. So in this situation, and it's a recommend, by the way, and there's this whole theme running through about learning to drive. Jesus Christ. There's a flashback before this run where Bruce is teaching Tim how to drive. Not the Batmobile, because that's incredibly difficult, but just a regular car. This is going to be trenchant later. So then we go to a robbery with 3 men, 2 of whom are armed. A third does not appear to be armed. It goes bad, the driver is shot, and then the cops arrive. Although you have to glean it from the, mostly from the dialogue, since the storytelling here isn't great. But the apparently unarmed third guy in the trio runs away, is captured by Robin, or stopped. We find out that they were stealing baby formula. And then these 2 cops arrive, and one of them says, "Move or I shoot." The third guy runs and is shot. Robin argues about it, tries to run away. He also gets shot. So this is where Wes decided, since he has A, pre-established beef with Matt Fraction, and B, he's not being bribed to say this is a good issue like he was with the first issue with the getting a cut of the variant covers he was promoting for the issue in question. He decides to make the entire thing about this and say, since this is allowed, you have to support the cop. A, I'm not sure if shooting unarmed people is allowed. I know if you're armed, that's allowed. There's a lot of weird rules. Like in Texas, I believe it's legal to shoot an unarmed person stealing property at night, but not during the day. And it has to be like from your homestead. So obviously Gotham is a fictional jurisdiction, and there's lots of videos of cops shooting people running away, shooting them in the back, but the excuse is, well, this was someone violent, you can't let them escape and get out into the populace. So if someone's involved in a crime, yes, I believe in most jurisdictions that's allowed. But it doesn't mean you have to like it. Wes presents it in this very kind of Ned Flanders way, like, you got to support the cops, but these are fictional cops working for a supervillain. And also, we don't have to like people getting shot in the back. I think a lot of people understand why it happens. If someone's violent and crazy and has a weapon, you don't want them to escape to hurt other people. But he was presented as like, and I'm trying to wrap my head around this Ned Flanders morality about shooting people. So when a they-them in Ultimate Hawkeye shoots illegal weapons dealer who works for a secret society that puts people in spiked cages, that's wrong. But a cop who basically shoots anyone running away, I mean, Robin just threw some smoke. Now, you can say that antagonized the situation, but he's clearly a corrupt, evil, bad cop who just shoots people at the drop of a hat. We're going to see this throughout. But Wes uses this ridiculous, well, the first thing he did was actually allowed, therefore you can, just how he's drawn. This is not how you draw a good cop. This is a visual medium, and if you want to show a corrupt cop, you show him like this. He's fat, bearded, balding, yelling, shooting basically everyone he sees. He's not done. He's going to shoot 2 more people. But Wes is using this extremely just, well, the first literal thing you saw him do is allowed, therefore you have to assume he's a good guy. And the Matt Fraction never established. No, he's very quickly established as a bad cop. It's just, yes, the first thing he does is allowed. Just because something is allowed, it doesn't mean it's good or everyone has to universally accept it. So then we go back to the learning how to drive, and it's actually a really fun part of the story. Sorry. Tim Drake gets thrown in the back of an MRAP, and this is a reference to, most likely a reference to a situation where the prisoner was unsecured in the back of a vehicle, roughly like this, and they hit the brakes. He slammed forward, like cracked his neck. He's paralyzed. So they basically say they're going to do this. They're going to give him a rough ride. Although I will have to say, MRAPs can't take corners like this. Yeah, you could accelerate slowly and then I guess just slam on the brakes. But you're not taking a turn where the wheels are going up. For people who don't know, this is a good example. But MRAPs were created to deal with IEDs, specifically explosively formed projectiles. So the idea is that the hull is actually, and you see a hint of it, is shaped like a triangle, so the blast will hopefully get split and go up. The V-shaped hull is supposed to funnel the blast to the sides instead of letting it go all up into the troop compartments. But anyway, we get this really good fight scene with Robin. Yeah, this is the gay one. Acting badass. Very refreshing. Do you remember when his boyfriend tickled him and he went like, ew, in a Solo series? He's not acting like that anymore. And they're doing this rough ride to kind of throw people around to make it even worse. Robin's doing quite well. God, that is a cool ass. That is really, really cool. And then he breaks free of the cuffs to the point where even they're like, what the fuck? So then Batman does the spike strips to stop it. And again, like, I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. Because Wes frames this as like, can you believe that Batman is joining in on assaulting the cops? It's like, Vandal Savage is the commissioner. The cops, at least that fat one, has been acting like a goddamn psycho the entire time you've seen him. And also, if you actually read the motherfucker, Robin has been speaking to him on the emergency channel the entire time. He knows what's happening. So then basically, we get this standoff where the wimpy cop who's been going along with it finally gets sick of it. He's like, Jesus Christ, you're shooting everyone. And then they both fire at each other. Batman jumps in the way, somehow doesn't block. I guess he blocks most of the shotgun pellets from hitting the wimpy good or less evil cop. Somehow the evil cop gets shot. There was visually with the compositions and the storytelling, like, you don't see him get shot, but somehow he is. And then Batman takes just a freaking shotgun blast right to the freaking back of the head. Then he gets a flashback to teaching Tim how to drive. And then we go back to the present. Really great scene where Tim goes to drive. He's like, what the fuck? There's 13 gears. And since this Batman is, a combination of a bunch of different iterations of Batman, he's like, what the hell do you need 13 gears for? And he's like, 9 are standard, 3 are quantum for use during spatio-temporal crisis events. Then there's the secret gear, 13. And he goes, what the fuck? And he goes, it means I have the coolest car in the world. Now drive it. Now, if you have noticed, I've been going through a lot of emotions. A lot of them are just kind of joy at what's happening in this comic. And Vandal Savage is experiencing joy when he sees that the fat cop was killed, and he knows he can use this. So then he calls a meeting and basically says, hey, it's on site with Batman and Robin. I don't care what arrangement they had with the commissioner before. If the mayor has a problem with it, he can say something. And altogether, freaking awesome, what should have been a first issue. Wes, for whatever reason, I don't know where his beef with Fraction comes from, DC comes from. Instead of giving an honest rendition, gives the most malicious, malevolent, meandering, dishonest take on a comic I've ever seen. And I'm fucking sick of it. Your job as a reviewer is to read something and review it fairly, not micro-focus on something so you can pretend like you're oh so offended. It really bothers me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.